Hi, hello, welcome. You have stumbled upon a podcast that highlights the quantum moments between souls, between client and practitioner, between memory and meaning, between mysticism and the science that's trying to catch up to it. We talk about real session experiences and their recurring themes, patterns and lessons in consciousness, and the healing intelligence that shows up when we stop trying to control and start allowing. Some of these episodes are conversations between myself and other practitioners. Some are reflections, stories, or lessons pulled straight from my own experiences in the field. My name is Jennifer Wind, and I'm your host. If you're curious about consciousness, your own intuition, and our silent connection to each other and the world, then I invite you to follow along, subscribe, and spend time with us on a journey to healing, one quantum hypnosis session at a time. Thank you for joining the field between us. So, my name is Jennifer Wind, and I'm here with Heather Tucker, and we're just here to kind of let people understand more about the quantum hypnosis healing techniques through QHHT practices, but also BQH practices is what you're bringing in too. Mm-hmm. And then so many other modalities and so many other healing methods and techniques come into this work, I feel like. Yeah. I just kind of want to talk about what people can understand about it if they've never heard about it before, and what are some of the different things that people can experience, and trying to help people understand that no two sessions look alike. Mm-hmm. And that even if you were to have a repeat session with the same practitioner, that those two sessions will never look alike either, because every time you have a session with somebody, it's a completely different person, and you're a completely different person when you show up.
Right. We're a different person now.
Yeah.
And now.
Right now.
And now.
And now.
And now.
Or right now. And different now.
Yeah.
But I guess a little bit about me is that I had my second born, and I was going through some postpartum depression in 2022, before, during, and after. And I had some traumatic experiences that I experienced during the pregnancy and then after. And I felt like I just needed to search for something bigger than what the medical community could offer toward my healing. Mm-hmm. And I was a big watcher of Teresa Caputo and Long Island Medium.
You're just watching that.
Yeah, I love it. She's such a character. But I remember when she talks about how she got started into the psychic mediumship field, is that she had a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression, and she was agoraphobic. She didn't want to go outside of her house because she always had these huge panic attacks. And that someone finally offered her this idea of seeking out spiritual healer. Mm. And that kind of put everything into place for her. So I thought, maybe it'll work for me too.
Why not? Yeah. I've never heard that story before.
Oh, yeah,
it's really interesting.
She went to the spiritual healer, and then she became this whole woo-woo person, mm-hmm. got a little ceremonial drum, and she goes to these circles.
Kind of like a shamanic journey.
Right.
Awesome.
And so now she's this very attuned, very aware person, right? She's a very talented psychic medium, mm-hmm. very gifted.
Yeah, I love her.
And I want to talk to dead people too. So,
same. I get to every now and then now.
Right? Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, let me just go on my own spiritual healing journey and see what happens. Mm-hmm. And it led me to a crystal shop. It led me to a woman who was doing a channeling class, which led me to doing an intuitive reading class. And I was doing oracle card readings for my family and my friends, mm-hmm. and just doing them for free, letting people pay me if they wanted. I thought I should be getting a lot more than I was getting, but I was just starting. Yeah.
Not yet.
I wasn't ready. I had some blocks.
Yeah.
But so I gave a reading to a woman, and it felt very good. It felt like I was on par with a lot of stuff that was coming through.
you get those truth tingles, those like truth bumps. I was getting tingles all up and down my left side. I was like, okay, this is it. This is the message. And I feel like there was a piece of it that for her ended up being a major piece that devalued the entire reading and totally unvalidated it. Oh. And so that knocked me back on my keister. I was like, ugh, okay, this is an icky feeling. Yeah. I don't like telling people these messages when A, they could be wrong, B, they're not going to be received well, right? Endless list of things. So I took a pause from doing readings and instead moved to like teaching people how to read for themselves, doing their own card work. But I thought there's got to be something bigger, something out there that I can help people get answers from within. And in came Dolores Cannon's books. And I was like, this is amazing. She got all of this information from clients, right, channeling this information for themselves. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Okay, universe, I see you.
I wish I had $1 for every time I just like mentioned her books.
I know.
In sessions or outside, like in,
Have you
the
heard
wild.
Of Dolores Cannon? The late, great Dolores Cannon? Let me tell you about her.
Let me tell you.
Oh, my gosh.
About our savior, Dolores Cannon.
Have you read the book of
Between Death and Life?
This is the Bible of Dolores Cannon. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I took a class, right? Came into some money. It was my birthday. I'm like, you know what? This seems like a good way to spend this money. Yeah. So I put the money down. I took the class and I finished it within less than a month. I was like, oh, this is so good. So good. I just ate it all up. And I started practicing right away, probably a little sooner than would have been best for my highest timeline. But yeah, so got to practicing, and I'm still technically in my practice sessions. I took that class in May of 2024. Okay. And it is now January 2026. And I am 5 holy sessions away from finishing my 25 practice sessions. So technically right now I'm a level 1 intern, but when I finish I'll be a level 1 practitioner. So it's been a journey. It's been exciting. There was over a year where I wasn't doing any of these sessions though, just because it just wasn't fitting in my life.
Right. Timing wasn't.
Right. And it took me about 4 or 5 months to get my first 13 practice sessions in while I was in Texas. And the good Lord led us to coming into Wisconsin, which is where we're at now. And once I decided to open up my world back up to these QHHT sessions and becoming a QHHT practitioner again, like, you and I got in contact, and it's just like, since then, things have just flowed. It's been insane.
I'm so happy you did, too.
Yeah, me too. It's just so funny how that happened, but...
The synchronicities.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, girl. Okay. We're not in control. No. We're just going with the flow. But yeah, so when I started taking practice sessions again, it was just like, boom, one after the other. I didn't even have to try. Like, people were just finding me. And, so it just feels very on target right now. And I'm so close to being finished with the practice sessions, and I can feel why they have 25 practice sessions before they recommend charging, right? Because on your own journey, like, you're learning different things from the clients, but also you're gaining the confidence to be like, okay, I am so ready to charge for these sessions now.
Right. It becomes work because you're like really in it. Yeah.
But you
it's
also,
fun too.
Yeah, like, you get the confidence that you need to not doubt your abilities.
Right.
To not doubt that the work is valid and that it's real for these clients, and that it's providing a lot of value to them and their lives.
It's life-changing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It really is for the practitioner and the clients. And and it's a lot. Like an average session for me is 5 to 7 hours, anywhere in between. And sometimes, like, I had a session just a few weeks ago. It was last 10 hours.
Oh, wow.
10 hours we were there together.
That's intense.
And it was intense, but it was so necessary for that client to get through it. And when we have a repeat session, it won't be that long. It won't be that intense again. And she doesn't have to divulge everything over and over and over again. But yeah, so I'm excited, and that's my story. I know you told us a little bit about yourself in the other podcast, but just in case, can you tell us again?
Yeah, so I began this journey after a bit of a rough patch in my life. I think, that's just kind of how we all end up into these new amazing things as we shift in the world. And the changes came, when I was in my mid-40s. So, you could call it a midlife crisis maybe too, who knows? But it was at a time where I knew that what I was doing in my life wasn't working. So there were things that just were out of alignment that needed to change, shift, evolve. So not only just for myself, but my outside factors. So relationships that I was in, I knew that something was off, and I had been making choices in a way that I shouldn't have necessarily been making them. But it all started when I actually went to I'd gone through a breakup, and then I started dating someone pretty much right after, and I was seeing some of the same patterns in him as I had experienced with my ex. So I was like, wait a minute, hold on, we've got something here that's just not. It's me. It's my choices that I'm making, and why am I making these choices? So I went to a medium. She's since retired, but she was amazing, and she just kind of pointed out some things that were happening in my life that were pointing at the signals that I should have been paying attention to, and the signs from some of my loved ones who are passed. And one being the garage door in my house not wanting to shut, and I thought it was just electronics playing tricks on me, or something else just going wrong. And after trying to figure all these things out, finally after I met with her, and she pointed out that was your grandpa that was actually doing that. My grandpa had passed back 20 years ago. He was literally trying to send a sign like, okay, you should not be going home to this person. This person does not make you happy. You're not in alignment with the universe. And so I saw her. She kind of pointed that out and some other things that I maybe needed to pay attention to. And she also said to me, you can do this. And I was like, me? What are you talking about? Like, she completely kind of just threw me off in saying that. But, I think all of us have our intuition that we should be paying more attention to. And I think that she was kind of pointing to the fact that we all have that, and I should be using it more. Whether it be in the capacity of, psychic mediumship or just some other realm of that.
Right.
So intuition does play into this QHHT, into my sessions a lot of times, and just feeling that out. But I think that was just part of that. So anyways, I then went to a Reiki session with a friend shortly thereafter. And she, after I dumped my life on her, she's also a friend, a fellow or former coworker. I dumped everything on her, what I was going through, and she just handed me, looking back on it now, is like angels were probably going, oh, at that time. She handed me a card for Matt Schmidt, and I was like, well, who's this guy? What's quantum healing? Right. I've never heard of this. What kind of magic is this? Or what kind of woo-woo stuff is it? And she goes, yeah, it's definitely, in the realm of woo-woo, if you're into that or you're open to it. And I said, well, I'm open to anything at this point. I need to do something different for myself. Right. I need some answers. And if this will help me get some answers, I don't know how. But then I started looking into Dolores Cannon and started reading some of her books. And then I decided to just go ahead and do the training before I ever even had a session. Because I was I was in amazement of what's possible in all of that and what she was seeing and experiencing with her clients, and then watching some of Matt's videos, and I met him in person. I did like a group guided meditation, and got some messages there that were just saying, yep, go ahead, do it, just do it. And I didn't have the time and the funds really at that point to get my own session. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do with the next best thing and just do the training. I'm just going to dive in because I've checked the pendulums, I checked all the things, the cards, and
all the validation,
all of the things, and they're all going, yep, yes, Heather, do it. And so then I was, in the middle of training and got my internship level, took the test, did all of that, and then I had to do my first 25 also. So my first session was a practice session with another practitioner who also had to get their first 25. So we did a trade, which is what we often do. And then my second one, same thing. Was with a fellow practitioner. But the things that came through in those, just completely validated. And, I have a YouTube video out there that's discussing little tidbits of what I did see in my first session, which was through the eyes of Jesus. And, I always have a hard time telling people that because of...
This is your first personal session?
Yeah, this was my first personal one because a lot of what I've realized in my life moving into this stage of it is that I've experienced some religious trauma. And I think it's something that's really common that we're seeing and we're experiencing in life, and we don't talk about it enough. But I then saw through the eyes of Jesus, and I'm like, well, what is this about? It's not that I didn't believe in him. I just didn't know what was truth and what was fiction and what had been rewritten and reworded in the Bible and all of these things that were kind of the veil was lifted on things, right? So I doubted a lot, and basically what came through there was just, you're supposed to be helping humanity do what I was teaching everyone, is that you have your own power, you have your own inner light. You can heal yourself. And after that session, I was just like, okay, here we go.
Buckle your seatbelts.
Yeah, more validation and, my higher self calling me out on some of the shit that I just needed to know about myself. Like, okay, Heather, maybe just need to put the phone down a little bit more and, be more present. And, things that we just get kind of sucked into in the normal 3D waking life, the things that weren't in alignment and how I just needed to trust. So, and, after that, I got my first 25s in and started practicing out of the Fox Cities Wellness here in Appleton, where we're at. And it's just the path has unfolded along the way in just in such a, I guess, in a way that there's no resistance. I just figured I would hit so many roadblocks. I would have so many people that would try to talk me out of it. I would have, these things that would maybe happen, because that's what happened previously to me in life. Anytime I would try to move forward, there would be like, oh, well, this happens, and then that happens. And I realized that's because I just wasn't following the path that I should have been following.
An alignment.
Yeah. And so it's just been amazing since then, where like all these paths start opening up. I start meeting these people and they're in alignment with me. And the clients that are coming to me, they're all in alignment. Well, most of them. I shouldn't say all. It does happen occasionally that we have.
Well, I would even argue that they are in alignment.
True.
Right?
It's just
just a different
where
way.
They are, in their life right now,
They needed to come to you for some sort of guidance and learning.
Right. Any boundaries.
That you were able to provide for them and no one else.
Right. Yeah, it's been very few and far between. I've had some amazing people that I've met on this journey. And, so many of them I look at and I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we be friends?
Yeah.
I don't sound professional, but I'm just like, can
now
we please?
That your session is done.
Right. Do you want to get coffee? You are so cool, it's just been kind of magical. Like, not to be like, I don't know. I I have a hard time saying these things sometimes. Like literally, you can tell because like my past self would be like, "Oh, you're going to jinx it, Heather." But it just has been magical, and I'm not worried about it so much anymore. So I'm gonna let that go.
Beautiful.
But that's where I'm at now.
Wonderful. So how do you feel like your personal journey has been on this ride of QHHT and BQH?
My personal journey has unfolded in a way that, I guess, like I just kind of mentioned, where I just know that what I'm doing is what I'm meant to be doing. That alignment is there. But what I've also noticed in so many of these sessions is that we have these things come through for our clients that are often really meant for us at that point in time as well. There's these little nuggets and these little things from others, higher selves or higher consciousness, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's not even someone's subconscious or higher self that's coming through. It's things that are channeled or from a higher power even that we've had Jesus come into other people's sessions and come in and give guidance. And I always feel as though those are a gift in that moment. And I treasure them so much because you know when it's truth and when it's not, right? You get those truth bumps. You get those goosebumps, whatever you want to call them. And you know, okay, this I need to pay attention to. Remember this, Heather. Put this in the back and store it and remember and hold on to this, not the other stuff that's trying to come in and be like a distraction, social media, and all these other outside things that money, so many things I've just decided to release and allow. Yes, there's still some blockages there. I think everybody, if we're still human, we're going to have them. But for me, the biggest thing personally has been that I've been just able to trust the universe and trust that I am guided. And whatever's meant for me will find me. Whatever's not, hopefully gets filtered out by my team, my protectors. And that's probably the biggest thing.
For the listeners, for me, it's what she said.
Ditto.
Yeah, ditto. Samesies.
Yeah. Anything else though?
Not particularly. It's just whenever I feel like there's resistance, like I felt like there was a lot of resistance to the QHHT sessions for me when I was getting to like my 10th, 11th session. It felt like forcing it after that. And I was going through this like head game of, is this real? Is this meant for me? Is this really what I should be doing? Why don't I try like seeing if these other career opportunities that are coming through for me are meant for me? And I think what I really needed in that moment was stability and income, because it allowed me to move to Wisconsin.
Right. So, which is then leading you to
more QHHT sessions later. Yeah. So it's just been this whole game of like not resisting, understanding the signs when I get them. And it's allowed me to be more in flow. And it's allowed me to see where things could be leading and to allow things to happen and to unfold for me, knowing that it's for me.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that's been the biggest shift for me, is trusting that life is happening for me.
Yeah.
And
for, not to.
Right.
Yeah.
I am not the victim.
Right.
I am the blessed receiver of all things good.
Yeah. That was a huge thing in my awakening too, was just, and through the session that I had, was that victim mentality was something that was very ingrained generationally for my family. And, it was, those people were just awful. And because that happened, it's okay that you do this, and this, it's expected. No, We just need to do better. We need to clear that out. We need to send love back to that version of ourselves. All the tools that then came along to help with that too. So there's just so many like splinters and other things that come off of all of this that
Ripple out.
It's just so, I don't know, it's amazing.
I think QHHT is really good for the generational cycle breakers.
Yes. There's so many of us
Yeah.
that I'm seeing come through. Absolutely.
So who would you say, other than cycle breakers, QHHT is good for?
Those people who are receiving signs, synchronicities, what we call synchronicities, so things that are sort of triggering you questioning the universe and your existence and all of that. You're questioning what move next, what's best for me, what should I be doing in my purpose, or what's my purpose here. That is, I think, what most people that I'm seeing as clients, and that are getting the most benefit out of it. You can come and you can try and find trivial questions and get answers for trivial things, but really it's those people that really trust that there's way more out there for us to tap into. All of these timelines, dimensions, lifetimes, past lives. People who believe in that, believe in those infinite possibilities versus just, okay, what was I told growing up?
Right.
And what was programmed into my beliefs, stepping outside of that. Those people who are willing to and wanting to jump into those possible things and outcomes for them personally. I'm trying to think of what else.
Well, for me, I think I've noticed that people who are just curious and open-minded, you don't have to be a spiritual woo-woo person to get something out of a QHHT session.
True.
You don't have to be tapped in, as they say, or even spiritually awake and aware. QHHT will do that for you.
Right. That's true. Very true. Yeah, I've had some clients who really, they hadn't heard a lot of the things that, you and I have discussed. Dolores Cannon even. They haven't even heard of her. They just looked up hypnosis. They Googled it and they found me and they're like, okay, maybe let's try this because they've been going through something that they literally have not found the answers to with Western medicine, traditional talk therapy, those other means that are usually given to people as their fixes in life.
Yeah, so someone who's seeking healing where Western medicine has failed them.
Yeah.
They don't know how to really tap into the Eastern medicine of like the spirituality and the woo-woo and the healing. I think QHHT is really good for people who just need something different and other modalities haven't been working.
Right.
Because QHHT really gets to, and not just QHHT, I don't mean to like dismiss BQH, but quantum healing in general gets to the root of an issue. Whether it be something you experienced in your current life that you're living now as this listener or a past life that you've had before.
Yes.
Whether you believe in it or not.
Yes. And there are obviously other modalities too, even besides BQH, QHHT. There's a lot of different things out there. But I think when we're allowing ourselves to get those answers from our higher self or our subconscious, whatever you want to call it, or even higher powers outside of us. It's just another one of those tools. Just like our cards and our pendulums or whatever we're into. And just having another way to get those answers. And really, who's more believable than your higher self and those outside? As long as we know that they're coming from a loving, caring place, and that's the voice of those things that are coming through. I think, a lot of times it's just, okay, let's trust that. Let's go with that and see where it leads us. Let's be curious. Let's not be judgmental.
Right. I tell all of my clients, the only expectation I want you to have is that there should be no expectations.
Yes.
Because, from time to time, like from session to session, things can be different.
Yes.
They might respond to different practitioners in a different way.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? Like our frequencies have to match and have to like complement each other in order for sessions to really be beneficial, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
And no two sessions ever look alike. So what's kind of the spiel that you give your clients whenever you're explaining to them what happens and what they might experience?
Well, first of all, what I do with all of my clients, and this may change over time, but right now, when we're talking January of 2026, I usually will send them an email that has a lot of information. So I've even had people, a couple of people say, well, this is a lot of information. Can we just kind of talk about this? Can we have a phone call? So sometimes people need it in bite-sized pieces, but I send a lot of information to people. So different videos and an explanation of what to expect and what to let go of. And what I try to preface it all as is, this is for you. And let's let go of all those expectations of what you may think it may look like, whether you've seen sessions online or you've heard from a friend or a family member how theirs went. And then from there, I actually will, when they come in and they have their session with me, after they've watched the information, the videos that I've sent and kind of brought their questions in, so we always tell everybody to bring in their questions, I will also, again, just kind of give them a rundown of what it's going to look like. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit and we're going to talk. I want your life story. It's okay if you cry. Everybody cries, right? I hear so often, I'm sorry. No, I don't want you to be sorry.
That they're ready for a reason.
That's right. Let it out. And then after we've kind of gotten our what we call cast of characters, so people in their lives, their names, and who may come up while they're in that space, we'll do a keyword. So if they want to come back and do it again, it's a little bit easier. So we get that out of the way. But in the session itself, I'll also just kind of tell them what to expect there. So we take a bathroom break. We do all the things that just kind of set us up for success. If I sense something intuitively with an entity or an energy that I may see there with the client ahead of time, I may talk to them about that as well, just to kind of prepare them for how that may look moving into the session as well, just because it's not really talked too much about on my website or in my emails yet, just because it's something that I'm just still kind of learning. But then from there on out, it's okay. After that, we'll bring you out, we'll talk some more, and then I send them the recording. And if they have any questions, my inbox is always open. Okay,
Yeah.
Reach out. My phone number is even on there if you want to text me or call me anytime. I always tell everybody I genuinely care for their well-being and I want to hear how they're doing. Yeah. And I mean that. Like, I know it's a journey. It's things come up sometimes that are really tough, and we aren't just processing it there. We're having to process it moving forward too. So.
Oh yeah, and the processing happens years after a session. I feel like.
Absolutely, yeah. And I always reference it to like the layers of an onion. We're maybe peeling away one layer here, and then you may be peeling away another layer at home afterwards. Weeks, months, years down the road. If you want to come back and do a follow-up because you have questions on other things, we can do that too. And because we set them up for success in that first one, we've got a keyword that we're going to use in the next one. It's a lot quicker and easier just to get them into that space. Boom, you've got some answers from your higher self. Yeah. All right, let's go. So it's like this ever-evolving thing, but that's where I'm at right now with it.
So I usually have a short email. So in my personal experience, my first session, I went in after doing some of the QHHT courses. And Dolores Cannon, of course, the natural, right? She created this whole technique. She had no problems whatsoever getting people under. And if she did, she was really good about getting them past their resistances. If not in that first session, then in the second section, right? When they came back and they redid it. And yeah, she would just get people in deep. But when she was doing these sessions, the vibrational frequency of the world and of humanity and the collective was different.
Right.
So people experience these sessions differently. And I didn't realize that going into my QHHT session. I didn't have access to the board where all of these practitioners are talking about the changes, right? And the different expectations and how the technique has developed since Dolores' passing.
Or just how humanity has evolved.
Yeah.
And really, that's what it comes down to, is we have all just evolved as a collective where
so
it looks differently.
Yeah. So I went in with expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll just put that out there. I went in with expectations. But the practitioner that I had been practicing for about 12 years, she said, give or take. I can't remember the exact number, but it had been a while. She'd been practicing since before Dolores had passed away.
Okay.
And she was technically a level 2. She was a level 2 practitioner. She told me, and I just want to say, like, I had intuitive red flags pop up before she and I had a session together. Yeah. So I don't want to put this all on her.
Yeah.
What I'm about to tell you.
Do tell.
So I go in, and I've already had a couple sessions, right? So I know what the practitioners are supposed to tell us. Mm-hmm. I know what they're supposed to do in a session. Mm-hmm. Supposed to, quote unquote. Well, she starts telling me that she doesn't want to do the level 3 because she doesn't want someone to come in here and tell her how to do her sessions better. Because she feels like she's been doing just fine for the last so-and-so years, and she doesn't need anyone else to tell her.
Sounds like a blockage to me.
So that was interesting. Mm-hmm. And she handed me some papers, and there were like 2 or 3 different papers on top of the ones that were provided through QHHT official, right? Like their waiver that they give to people to be able to talk about the sessions on the board with other clients without giving out, personally identifying information. And for anyone who's listening, if you haven't signed one of those with my sessions, it's because I'm not talking about your session on the board. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, we're good.
I have those on my website.
But then she also handed me like a questionnaire that I spent like 20, 30 minutes filling out with her just kind of staring at me while I was filling it out.
That's why I like to do that ahead of time too.
I was like, oh God, this feels like filling out medical paperwork. It's so, anyway, it was interesting. It was different. And,
but it was working for her.
It was working for her. And so we got into the discussion of my life story. And I hadn't had an opportunity to tell anybody my life story before all in one sitting, right? Because in counseling, it's like you can only tell them so much. And then 50 minutes later, time's up, time to go. We'll talk more later. I'm like, oh, God.
My life is long. I need more time.
Much. Please. But yeah, so we got through that after like 3 hours. And then we did our bathroom break. And then I wanted to fast that day because I had luck with tapping in more easily spiritually when I fast. She said...
She insisted on a snack.
Oh,
no!
She said, well, what are you going to do when you're in hypnosis and your stomach starts grumbling? What if it wakes you up? I'm like, well, I don't want that.
Have you never heard of fasting, lady?
So,
we ignore
it. Anyway, so I had a snack, and I didn't want a snack, but I had the snack. But I felt pressured into it, right? So I was like, well, she knows. She's been practicing for so many years.
Yeah.
And this
works.
And
your stomach growling would probably, really undo things.
Maybe.
Oh, my gosh.
Just for the listeners out there, it won't.
It does not.
It will not hurt you.
We're joking because it does not.
If you cannot feel the sarcasm dripping off of our words, please know.
I would say I should have a sarcasm font that goes along with my words most of the time because I am joking most of the time.
It's going to come in Cosmic Sans and it's going to be in italic. Oh my gosh.
Warning.
We're being silly.
Yes.
Anyways, so yeah. Okay. So I get down, I'm laying down. I get uncomfortable. And then she also tells me, I'm a certified hypnotherapist. So please know that not all of my techniques are going to match with Dolores Cannon stuff. I'm like, this would have been really good information to have before you had me lying down.
Your expectations were there, though.
Right. So she starts off with some meditation out of nowhere. And okay. So Dolores says that the way she's created the script for her sessions, it doesn't require your full body release, like to do one at a time, the progressive meditative like muscle release, right? Okay, now your forehead is relaxing and now your blah, blah, blah is relaxing.
Right.
All right, because that takes so long and it's unnecessary for the way she's designed it. But we sit there for about 15, 20 minutes doing this thing that this practitioner is insistent that we need to do.
So she didn't trust in Dolores'
No, not
technique.
at all. And so I'm trying to trust in this practitioner, right, who says that she's experienced and says that she knows better. And then we get into the actual Dolores Cannon script, and she is going so fast. And I start spitting out. I'm like, okay, lady, I was with you up to a point, but now like your voice is not like you are stressing me out.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. So any work
But she was level 2, you said.
level 2.
And they really stress in level 2 that this
That
is
voice is
your
important.
voice and if your people. Okay, all right. So you spun out and you did not really get what
So here's the thing though. So here I feel whatever work was done to get me into actually seeing a past life was done from me, and what bits of Dolores Cannon's script took effect.
Okay. So you just relaxed yourself and you allowed yourself to be in that space.
I was crying all the way up until then. I was crying and hyperventilating, and I think the hyperventilating probably helped, but
yeah. The breath.
right.
See, and that's part of, I was just going to say, part of what I am currently doing, and this may change, just because I do love Dolores's induction. But that being said, I add the BQH, heart mind meditation.
Tell us about that.
So that is just a quick breathing exercise that we do because I feel personally when people come in, once they first start to lay down, they naturally are just kind of in a anxious state. And to get them through that, to make sure they are a bit more relaxed, I take them through that. And it's about maybe 5 minutes, if that.
Okay.
I've never timed it. I probably should. But we do that. I breathe along with them. I think we just kind of learn those things that work for us. Like you said, everybody has their own energy. Everybody has their own way of doing things. So I've found that it does help for me to do that in the beginning, and then I roll into induction. But I do tweak it if I'm doing one online, just because out of respect for the QHHT, I try to switch it up a little bit, but it's basically the same thing of just getting them in that relaxed state and visualizing. So you're visualizing a ball, which is a little bit different. Okay, you can throw the ball up into the air, and as it comes back down, it changes. So you're just getting them into that visualization state, that relaxed state, and then allowing them to go to the healing place. Coming off the cloud, whatever you call it, whatever it may be, but it all kind of looks the same. For the most part, it's just getting them into that state. So if you can tweak it and you can make it your own and it works for you, great. But with the case of that woman in your first session, it sounds like she was probably taking more of her hypnotherapy techniques.
Yes.
And that's probably where she had more of her
She's
experience.
probably more comfortable with it, yeah.
Yes. Because those from what I've seen or experience with typical stage hypnosis even, different people that are out there, I don't want to name names, but it's more of quick talk. It's snapping of the fingers. It's getting them to,
it's a little bit quicker, but still hypnotic. But yeah,
yes,
I get it, yeah.
You're getting them into that suggestive state.
The NLP stuff.
But I just think that Dolores, in the way she's doing it, is a gentler way. you're able to ease into it. And that was her whole thing, I think. It's just easing people in.
And the focus on the voice
Yeah.
really helps people it soothes them
Yes.
if you do it properly.
Yes.
Or it could send them into a panic attack if done wrong.
Exactly. Or hyperventilate.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so like I did end up eventually coming into a past life, went through it, and I didn't get as like deep into the visualizations of it that I had wanted, but I got something out of it. I was really bitter at the end of that session though, because not just because of how like I got into it, but the higher consciousness didn't come through. There wasn't a whole lot from that.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't allow it. Like I was resistant. There was the whole thing with the practitioner and the energy. Yeah, it was too frustrating. But at the end, I'm still crying when I come out of it.
Oh no.
Because I'm so frustrated. And she said, "But you had one of the better sessions." I'm like, "What?" Say what? Are you kidding me? This is your baseline? Are you kidding me? I was like, I don't know if QHHT is for me then.
Yeah.
If this is it, if this is what it's supposed to be like, I'm like, oh lady.
And that was in Texas.
That was in Texas.
And then what moved you forward after that?
I continued with my practice sessions. Shortly after that, I had my third practice session. And it was with a woman who was also a practitioner, and we agreed to do a trade-off. So I kept doing my sessions until she was ready to do my session. And when she did my session, I was resistant. I was very resistant. But I still saw things that I could not have made up if I wanted to. And I laughed through the entire thing. I didn't get very deep into it like she would have wanted me, the practitioner. She was like, "You just seem really resistant." I was like, "No shit, lady."
If you'd have known
like,
the one before this.
Oh my goodness. But it was still validating. But so was her experience, because when I did her session was the third session. So I had done my husband as a practice. I did my dad as my second practice, and then her session. So she was first like outside of my circle of like community. And she was an alien. I was like, this is it. This is golden.
One of my first sessions was too in my practice.
Oh my God. That's how they draw you in.
Yeah.
They're like, we got to give them some aliens or they're not going to stick around.
So true.
And now I feel like I'm just chasing that high after every session now. I'm like, could be another alien.
We just never know.
I mean, interstellar being.
Yes.
Interstellar being, outer space being.
The last time I had the session that we were discussing in the other podcast with the woman who had the being that came through at the center, I catch myself saying he because they stated that they were a interstellar being and they wanted to be referred to as that.
Really?
Yes, because I said something about alien or something.
So that term came to me in a meditation, so I'm so glad I am using that. I feel like tapping into the collective. Guys, this is your memo. They are not aliens. They are interstellar beings because they travel between star systems, okay? Got it?
They are all places, everywhere. Interstellar. Yeah. I was like, yes, you're right. I'm so sorry. I misspoke.
It's the new PC term. Interstellar. We do not use alien anymore. It is too offensive.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Love it. But yeah, so I was drawn in. Like, I was like, okay, you know what? If at the very least as a practitioner, I can keep experiencing this, then I'm sold. Yeah. I don't need to have like the perfect session for myself. But then when she did her session on me, I was like, okay, I am a chimpanzee. So I was resistant to the cloud and seeing myself come down and having whatever. But so she took me to a clearing in the woods, and I saw my guide on the other side of the tree line, and I started laughing. Laughing about it even now, thinking about it. He was in a white robe with like a maroon sash. He was so hairy. He was so hairy. He had like short men's cut, but he had hair all over his face, like fuzzy sideburns.
So like Neanderthal type?
No, like half man, half chimpanzee, monkey man. That's what I called him in my session. He was a monkey man.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't, like, he looked like he had human features, but like some mixed in with some monkey features. Oh my God, I don't know how to explain it. But he was like, come on. Grabbed my hand and we flew down a tunnel. And it was this weird, like, cave opening kind of thing. And I just walked out and I turned into a freaking Curious George looking chimpanzee monkey person. And it was a silly past life. Like, it wasn't very meaningful.
Felt silly to you, at least.
It did, yes. I got
nothing silly. No, I always say normal is just a setting on a dryer. So whatever happened.
It was different and unexpected.
Yeah. Okay.
And my practitioner, like, her session helped teach me patience, for one. Because if I wasn't seeing something right away, like if I stayed there, things would start forming and formulating in front of me, but then she would move me on and be like, wait, but I'm like, okay, all right, we'll go.
Right. You were seeing, but it wasn't necessarily pertinent.
Yeah. Well, I was seeing stuff, and then the more I sat with it and kept describing what I was experiencing, then the more things would start unfolding for me. So after that life, I went into the spiritual realm because I wanted just to see what would happen. And it was a black void for me at first. But then some like gold glittery shapes started showing up. And they were making shimmering sounds in my mind's ear. I was like, it's like the chimes on the music that you hear, that's what they sound like. And I was like, and it's like glitter falling, but staying contained in the shape. And I wanted to stay there because I started gathering intuitively that these are my ancestors on the other side. And I was about to start talking to them when she said, well, let's move on. And I'm like, but wait. But wait.
Did you go back to them?
No. She wanted to keep going. And I was like, okay.
Well.
So that taught me patience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The first session taught me that even if it's not going as planned or as desired, something can still come through.
Yes.
And the message that I got from that session, from that first awful traumatic session, like, I'm still unpacking things from it.
Yeah.
Within just like the last few months. We're like, oh, well, that makes sense now.
Right. Yes. Layers.
Yeah. Right.
Even if it ticks us off how those things happened. And
or even if they're feeling silly or frustrating in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. They still have a purpose.
I think there's expectations that need to be let go of in so many aspects. You know, like we talk about the expectations of what you're seeing, what you're sensing, what you're taking away from it. I'll have people who will sometimes be like, well, I don't know what this means, though. I don't know why I'm seeing this. I don't know. I don't think. And I'll have to stop them and say,
stop thinking.
Don't think. I just want you to visualize. I just want you to see. I just want you to tell me what you're experiencing. So that's like, there's expectations all throughout. And then after too. Like, oh, well, why was I seeing that? And I don't think I was deep enough. And whatever you get out of it is what you're meant to get out of it. Whether it's now or who knows, in our next life even. Which most people don't want to think about. This is my last time here, I swear it.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, okay, girl. Yeah. I had a client the other day who was like, I blew up my other world, so I'm here to make sure we don't do it here, but I would really like to not have to live another life on Earth, but now I know I have to make sure we all survive. I was like, yep.
Yeah, such a small job you've been given, right?
Please and thank you. Don't go anywhere.
Right.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so all of that to say, like, I have gotten to the point where I'm just like, okay, let me just tell you a basic structure of how it can go.
Yes.
and let you wonder what can happen.
Yes.
Because I learned from my own expectations that they can make me upset about what comes through.
You can self-sabotage.
Yes, and be resistant to what is there.
Yeah.
Like, there were lessons in that session that I could have learned faster if I was less upset about how crappy my practitioner was.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah.
And that leads to, I think, just making sure that you're aligned with someone.
Yes, and making sure that you're listening to your intuition and listening to those feelings of warnings that you get, those yellow flags that pop up.
Maybe this person isn't for me, you know.
Yeah, and then also knowing that there is no such thing as no point of return. Like, you can always stop.
Yes.
Just stop and walk away.
Yes.
Yeah, I was full committal, though. I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it work. But, yeah, that just, anyway. But like I said, still got something out of it, so that was nice.
Yes.
Including following my intuition next time.
Right. So lessons were learned, even though they didn't look exactly how you thought they were going to look.
Yes. And I've definitely learned no expectations are better than low or even positive expectations. So.
True. Yeah. Just let it all go.
Yep. Let it all go. Let it all
flow. Should that be like the name of this podcast?
Let it flow. It's going to sound like a period menstruation. This podcast. This is about your menstruation and how you should align with your moon cycle. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's all part of it, right?
Yeah. Men too.
Alignment.
But I think, yes, that's, you know what? Yes, that's a topic for another day.
Okay.
But yes.
Yes,
okay.
It is. We can go on for another 3 hours.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, thank you for this introduction and for helping us understand a little more about quantum healing in general and what can happen and what people can experience in a session.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Likewise. Thanks for being here. Okay.